Hello everybody, this is Burgback coming to you with another StarCraft 2 commentary, and in today's matchup we'll have sSsJun spawning as the red Zerg in the upper right hand corner of the map, and his opponent today will be CheckPrime spawning as the blue Zerg. And of course this is on Blistering Sands, 1v1 map for StarCraft 2, and this is a Korean matchup, Zerg versus Zerg. And we'll see how this comes to play. A lot of Zerg versus Zerg matchups, and it doesn't matter where you are in the country, or in the world rather. A lot of Zerg versus Zerg, all we see is Zerglings going in the banelings, or we even see roaches. That's basically the mass, the max of the units that we see in this game style. So we'll see if we see something different here, but usually you just see the spawning pool and the baneling nest or a roach warren just to counter it. We saw that in Jun versus Fruit Dealer. We saw Fruit Dealer go for those Zerglings early on, both sides really going for those Zerglings early on, and Fruit Dealer decided to go in the banelings, and Jun just trying to counter that with some roaches, but getting those roaches too late in the game and not being able to counter that. If he would have had it earlier on, it probably would have been a little bit different, but we'll see how it goes on this side. CheckPrime, of course, likes the Zerglings, likes doing the baneling kind of thing too, so we'll see how he goes with that. Going for that extractor now, going to probably see metabolic boost on both sides here, just trying to try to get that Zergling speed up. Of course, with that nice amount of distance between the two bases, we'll probably see the Zergling metabolic boost just so that they can cover ground a lot faster. Not sure if we're going to see any kind of baneling attack here just because of the distance. We might, I might be wrong, but we might go into roaches, things like that. We'll see how it goes for both sides here as the game progresses. We are, of course, only in the beginning. That's that 3-minute mark where we're just getting those spawning pools finished up and going for that metabolic boost and seeing if there's Zerglings. Probably going to see some queens coming out just as soon as these spawning pools are done. But we do see Jun going for the early Zerglings. And CheckPrime going for a couple Zerglings early on with the Queen, of course, metabolic boost on both sides, and of course just scouting out. Going to start seeing Jun doing a really good job of putting his scout out right there and putting another scout right here just to see if there's an early expand. Of course, both of these guys not expanding at all early on. Not building up those resources here. Baneling Nest coming down for CheckPrime. As I said, Check really liking that kind of Baneling, Zergling kind of push. So we'll see how that works on this map. And Zergling's now starting to come into play here. Going to start having their first little tit for tat. Taking out a couple of HP on those Zerglings early on here, and Jun just trying to get in there, trying to scout out inside the base. Surprised he just didn't bring in something, but of course his Queen now in here going to start pounding away at the Zergling and that Baneling Nest. He does see that Baneling Nest. He knows that Baneling Nest is going to be coming out now, so he's going to try and figure out what he's going to do, and Jun just kind of playing cat and mouse here with these Zerglings. Zerglings at the ramp, just kind of not being able to surround each other, of course, and Check just kind of pulling out. And it looks like Check coming up here to help support his other guys. There's one poor little Zergling coming back and going to get this around. Oh, no, it does get around. As looks like, Baneling's now coming into play here, starting to morph in. Will these Zerglings be able to do anything to them? They are going after the other Zerglings, but these, will they be going up in time? Looks like 2 Banelings will be coming up, and they'll get up just in time to start blowing stuff up. Yeah, there we go. 4 Zerglings down for Jun now, as Jun Zerglings just kind of taking the heat there from the Banelings as they start dancing around. More Banelings now coming up for Check here, and Check again really liking the Banelings. Those are really well timed. We did lose one. That is a little sad for Check there, but of course look at all these Zerglings now for sSsJun, and Jun going for that Roach Warren earlier now, getting the Roach Warren in there a little bit earlier, and Check, these guys are so slow, as Jun decides to come up into Check's base to start attacking, and start really doing some heavy work here on the mineral line, or trying, at least attempting to, but of course there are some Zerglings still in here, and inside Jun's base, Jun, of course, getting hit by these Zerglings. Zerglings getting us around on those roaches. Roaches are down and now going after the Queen. Queen going down, and we do have one more Roach coming up, but I don't know if that's going to be... we do have a good bunch of Roaches up here now. 4 Roaches going after his Banelings. Banelings trying to run away, but it looks like these Roaches might have the upper hand here. Of course, all the Zerglings down there for June getting taken out, and Zerglings now coming up here trying to. Yeah, now all the Banelings are now down as these roaches, or not roaches, these drones trying to outmaneuver these Zerglings. The Zerglings now starting to do some kind of damage and getting out of there now in time just to try and outmaneuver those roaches. Of course, Roach is doing really well on keeping Czech on his feet. They came up at a really good time. Again, just like the timing for those Banelings, June had a great timing on those roaches in his hatchery. So really, really well played there. And we're going to see how this plays out here. Of course, these Zerglings just kind of sitting there waiting for some kind of play here. As more Zerglings coming up the front from Czech, and June, of course, being able to push them back. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, does come up here just to scout it out. And again, just taking out a couple more Zerglings. Zerglings just going back and forth. And it looks like Czech now going for his own Roach Horn to try and circumvent what June has. What's the great counter to roaches on a Zerg versus Zerg? Roaches. So we're going to see roaches come up and go against the roaches of June. June now in a great position here, and looks like he's ever so sluggishly going. We could probably benefit from some creep here. But again, Zergling's just going crazy here, going forward. June just pushing forward. Of course, he could probably go for those destructible rocks, create a back door here. But of course, he's going for the front door. As looks like he's going up here, going to try and get that. Oh, Baneling coming up here, going to say, oh, let's go in here. Baneling, boom! Blowing up. Really good stunt there by June to get rid of those Baneling, that one Baneling, I'm sorry. And again, just dancing back and forth here, trying to do what he can. And Roach is coming up now for Czech, and Czech just showing up just in the nick of time. Again, these are all great times for both players, being able to counter really quickly on both sides. But of course, Czech does not have enough of roaches up yet. Oh no, he does have. He has 4 roaches, so he's now potting everybody up and getting back on that creep just for the speed here and sending those drones back into the game. And again, just kind of pushing back here. June just kind of coming back, saying, you know what, we're going to wait it out. We're going to see what's going to go on. Going to build up a little bit. Baneling's now coming in for Czech. Czech getting ready to do some kind of aggression here. And June just doing a really good job. Really, really good compared to the last game I cast of him. And bringing the Zerglings around. Going to go into the mineral line, keeping him off the line. Bringing that queen back. And we see the roaches getting slaughtered for June right now as Czech does have more roaches in here. And he did take out all of the, well, not all of them, a couple of them are still alive as Czech is pushing back June now. And June bringing up a couple more roaches, and Czech just trying to bring back his economy again as we look at that income. We are now back to even basically here. Just Czech going a little bit less on the mineral or on the gas, just because he had to pull some off just to get that economy kick-started back again for Czech.